what's on your mind.
Oh, didn't do it.
Tell me what's on your mind.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Caught me flat-footed there. All right, hey guys, welcome to the writers' room. Right, we have here tonight are a bunch of writers, and we're gonna hash some stuff out. Now, the hashtag in question that we're going to talk about is the buy one back one. Okay, that I launched last night, I think it was, and seems like a week now because I've gotten so much. We've gotten a lot of play from it, so we're talking about basically the future of it. Talk about the campaigns that we'd like to see get more attention. If you happen to be somebody watching tonight that pulls themselves away from Malin's effervescent presence and decides to check the show out. Oh, Smiling Bandito, what's up, dude? I hadn't seen you over here in a long time, man. What's up, dude? Good to see you. If anybody wants on the panel, I'm going to post. I'll send you a link. Just let me know. Don't want to completely open it up, so we don't let the riffraff on,
Great.
But
anyway, what are you talking about? That's us.
well, we are the riffraff, but we're very selective riffraff. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, so we're talking a little bit about where we take this next, the buy one back one. Now, let me go ahead and give the concept. And I did a video that you can check out. It'll be in my my playlist. But basically the concept's very, very simple. Okay. Now, as you are backing these larger campaigns, that's very important. Okay, because as you are backing, which means I'm not saying take money out of their pockets. I'm not saying, don't back these larger campaigns because they got great tiers. They deliver on time. Most of the time they have a high quality, bang for your buck. And I would not ask anybody to give that up. Okay. And a lot of these guys are like the former who's who of the mainstream and still, deserve all the respect that they've garnered over the years. So I'm not saying don't back them. I'm saying while you are backing them, consider maybe a smaller campaign. Just the way I do it is if I back a big one, I'll back a small one or two small ones. Anyway. Hold on one second. Smiling Bandito says, hey, cheers, everyone. I'm still around, just getting work done before I get back on social media. I understand, dude. Totally. I get it. It
kind of reminds me of Nerdrotic. Every time I see it, I think that's Nerdrotic.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's Smiling Bandito.
Yeah. He does have a similar one. Yeah. And by the way, I've heard him on live streams. He is not Hispanic at all. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah. A little cultural appropriation there. A little cultural
appropriation. What is that supposed to mean? He doesn't.
You're trying to cancel him now.
Hispanic.
As a matter of fact, I think he might be Canadian. As a matter of fact, he
Canadian.
might be Canadian. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
So he's about as far from Mexico as you're gonna get. All right, just say it. All right. Anyway, but that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. We got one guest, and I'm ragging him. So anyway, but it is
It
what
is
it
all
is.
good.
You
But
can
I
leave.
think it's like the mail-in show has its use, but I think what we are talking about is that
Nah.
next step. It's like they put it
Yeah.
on they put the they're displaying the people on the carousel, but the big
Right.
deal is, buy a big one, back a breakout. It's like look
Yeah.
at
Mhm.
what's coming out there, and it's like, I mean, you guys know how it was back in the day trying to get
Right.
CDs and whatnot. It's like
Yeah.
everybody wanted to get that. I'm gonna probably get some sneers, some cringes, whatever. But like
Right,
I remember
right.
buying the Papa Roach first album when it
Yeah.
was $3 on discount.
Right.
And now
right.
it's like, people are like, oh man, what do you mean? It's like you find those artists at the time when they were coming up. It's like
It's a little correction here. My icon's older than Nerdrotics, to be fair. Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Gotcha.
I believe it.
Oh,
so
oh,
so
So-
Nerdrotic
but you know,
is
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. With the buy one back one, and
Yeah.
then the breakout. The one
Uh-huh.
thing we need to make it all come together, and at least in my opinion, would
Yeah.
be an image.
Mhm.
Like whether it's I wouldn't say it's a logo, but it's one image that wraps that whole thing up into that idea.
Right. Right.
And I don't know what that is. I don't know how that would look. But
Well,
that's the thing you can retweet.
Well, this
With-
is my
with your
this is
hashtag.
my idea. Okay. Remember the old record shops? I think this is where Wyatt was going with this. Now, when you went into an old, this might be before your time, Aaron. There used to be like dedicated shops for music, dedicated shops for all this other stuff. Okay.
I know about that.
Yeah. Okay.
I watch
Your
history channels.
You watch
There you
History
go.
Channels. Okay. All right.
Film reels of it.
Yeah. Dang.
back when
Zoomer.
you had to crank up your Victrola.
I thought
Thank
you
you,
said
thank
Viola.
you, Zoomers. I swear.
When you had to
Craig
wind
says
up the
Craig
vinyl
said
player.
ouch. So Craig says ouch. Anyway, so okay. But when you went into these shops, right? There was like these, there's like these boxes, and you went, you had like the big things were on the main end cap, right? Like the top 10 or whatever the radio was pushing. But then you'd have all these boxes and boxes of albums that you could go through, look and see, find some cool album art or whatever. And you would buy like the big top 40 hit because you wanted to know what people were talking about, or you wanted to get the one that you heard on the radio. But while you were there, you would choose maybe a smaller album or an album somebody you hadn't heard from. You'd discover somebody entirely new. You'd go over here. You get like the latest from Bryan Adams, and maybe you sneak over here and get a Government Mule, or somebody like that. But not that you guys would ever get Bryan Adams. But anyway, just a suggestion.
Yeah, it's
All
really
right.
like that.
The females love Bryan Adams. I'll just say
Uh-huh.
that right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah. They
just
really
saying.
did. They really did. Yeah. Okay.
The singer?
Bryan Adams said the females love Bryan Adams. So. You'd
You
put
know.
that on if you were like had a female over, she'd be like, "Oh, everything I do it for you."
Oh,
Okay,
not that.
yeah,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
put-
they eat that shit up, man. They love
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
putting
yeah.
out tonight. Anyway.
My aunt had that at her wedding,
Oh no.
but it was an operatic singer,
And
and it was the funniest thing. Because he wasn't a tenor. He was a
No.
baritone.
Oh man, Aaron's
Baritone,
smile's
oh.
going away. I think we're getting
Oh.
close to home there. Aaron's like
So,
the smile is slowly fading. He's like, oh man, I feel seen. I feel
I
seen.
feel like I'm
He's like-
with a bunch of old people right now.
I just remember like going in there,
kick.
and my
Yeah.
aunt was
Oh.
like I don't know,
Yeah,
she
you're
was
right.
kind of a floozy back then anyway.
Right.
So-
Okay.
Aaron's like, I'm out. So,
Oh man,
Get back on here.
but
You
Anyway.
lower our median age. Cut it out.
It was kind of. I remember she was like a floozy anyway, but there was like this operatic singer in this.
Right.
He was in like a weirdly. I mean, I don't know. He looked like he belonged more to Macarena concert than he did
Oh wow.
like a wedding. And he's like, everything I do, I do it for you. And I was just like, that is the flattest I've ever heard that song.
I'll tell you, I don't think I've ever been to a wedding where I've thought this makes sense.
Confirmation that yes, Smiling Bandito is indeed a Canadian. Ah, there you go. There you go. I told you.
They're so sappy. Weddings are so sappy, and I just go, and they make them more sappy with shit like that.
Oh,
Right?
okay. This is truth. I could show you like actual evidence of this. All right. A lady of my acquaintance wound up at the end of the day when she finally passed on. Thank God for all the eligible males.
Why did you need to bring
She
up
had 8
that she was of your
husbands.
acquaintance, and then you're like, she passed on?
Well, she had
Was
8
it-
husbands,
Did you hate her?
and she would marry them, and they would die within 2 years.
Black Widow.
Oh,
She was a
Yep.
black widow, and get this, her
Okay.
name was Pearly Gates.
On her license.
That was her name. It was her maiden name, and she kept going back to it, and her name was Pearly Gates.
I would have not. Yeah, I'd have been like, you know
that's a
what?
sign.
I think
I
that
know.
I think this is too much of a coincidence. So
Yeah,
let's
Well,
just stay friends. You know?
it's a matter of fact that I heard
Yeah.
they were like kind of laughing that she married this guy named Earl, was like one of her last husbands, and I was like, oh man, I hope you don't like Earl. And it's like, why? I said, he's gonna be dead within 2 years. And they're like, what are you talking about? And sure enough, he died. And they came to me and said, how did you know that was going to happen?
Yo, did they say what causes he had?
No, I think it's like a heart attack. They usually wind up dying of a heart attack. So whatever she was
Dang,
going
she
to them
stressed
causes
them
a
out
heart
that
attack.
much, huh?
Maybe it was just like the greatest blowjob they ever had in their life.
I don't
shit.
know. I can't even speculate.
After 2 years, she's like, "You're ready."
Anyway, so
After
we are
2
off
years,
topic.
you know, she's ready.
You keep
We
the
were talking
little.
about a record shop, and we got stuck on Brian Adams.
He
Yeah,
just
thanks
barely
a lot,
survived
buddy.
becoming more of an acquaintance. Pearly Gates. No. She was like way up there in years, but
You know,
she
we've
knew
been
how to
together for
hook
2
them up.
years, 2-year anniversary.
She drove the nicest Ford Fairlane I've ever seen. That thing was pristine.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know
she's
who
got
wound up
8.
with it.
She's got 8 estates under her freaking belt, man. Jesus.
Right?
Yeah, well, she had it for like the time I was a kid. I'd see her go by. So
Does she own like half your town now? I mean,
I mean,
usually, you know, the small towns, they have like, you know, there's like
right.
6 families that
Well,
populate the whole
What,
damn
Madam Deagle?
village, you know? She owns 8 of them, you know?
Yeah, right. She's got 8 houses to choose from. She's got freaking.
Hello all.
Oh, Belmont.
Hello, yep. They Belmont. I don't know. It was just odd, but I mean, and I was like, why doesn't anybody ever investigate this? And it's like, and everybody's like, I don't know. And it turns out her she had like 4 nephews on the sheriff's department or something.
Shocker.
She must have had some
I
good
grew
pops.
up- There's this town called McClenny in
Uh-huh.
between Lake City and Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And it is literally, McClenny was literally created by criminals.
Ah.
It's a town that quite literally, you can look up the
Right.
history of it, manifested because there were 3 like prisoners that were lifers, and the train like wrecked, it crashed. They made a town in between Jacksonville and Lake City. That was McClenny. Up until the 90s,
yeah.
it was so corrupt. Like
Right.
they paid the Jacksonville the flight department of the Jacksonville Police Department
Mhm.
not to fly over certain areas.
Oh.
Because they
Wow.
started, what they did is that in the 90s, my dad was actually part of this initiative because he was a mechanic out there for the police, and they put in FLIR, forward-looking
Uh-huh.
infrared, on the helicopters,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
So they would pay them to either turn it off or
Yeah.
go the other way. And then
Wow.
finally, somebody pissed somebody off. I think what actually happened was they
Uh-huh.
went too far.
Yeah.
And somebody from Jacksonville, one of the drug dealers from Jacksonville, came in and
Yeah.
moved in on their marijuana ring.
Ah.
They welded his car shut with him in it and set it on fire.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, that'll get you to turn on the flare
Makes
pretty
sense.
quick, won't it?
Makes a lot of sense.
They're like, all right, mother truckers.
So after that happened,
Yeah.
there was like a gang war, like a territory turf war kind of went
Wow.
on for a bit for Baldwin, because Baldwin is in between Jacksonville and McClenny. And McClenny, basically what ended up happening is they held off the Jacksonville turf war and the police and everything. What was
Wow.
their doom is
Yeah.
that this guy I actually went to school with was
Mhm.
part of the family, right?
Yeah.
He was dumb as dog shit. They paid him a few $1,000s to go with like 6 barrels of marijuana. They were going to start trafficking down south. So he was going to Orlando, driving in a brand new truck at 120 miles an hour. So they pulled him over and were like, "What are you carrying?"
Yeah, make no mistake, it might be Florida, but it's still the South, man.
Bad.
I thought I saw crooked stuff in Mississippi, but man, this takes the cake right here.
There was like, it was bad. Like there were regularly, like if you went past the curfew was supposed to be in this small town, curfew was 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the people out after 11 o'clock had to pay the toll. And if you were a pretty girl, the toll was basically you had to fuck the cops.
Makes sense.
Wow. That makes sense. What? Oh, he's from New Jersey. Never mind. He's from New Jersey.
Aaron's like, what you talking about? That's what I would say, man.
Yeah,
I had to pay the toll,
I just
man.
watched a lot of crime dramas and stuff.
Yeah, New Jersey. That's like Tuesday in New Jersey.
I was like,
I mean, depends on if you're in a
graduated.
college town or not.
I graduated.
Right,
They're like,
right.
"Do you want to stay here? We could get you a job here." I was like, "I'm out. I'll see you guys later," and I will never come back.
Anyway.
I won that one.
I don't know how we're gonna get
Yes.
back on topic after that. Jeez Louise, man.
Buy
I'm gonna
one,
start
get buy
when someone
one,
said,
back one, gentlemen.
Buy one, back one. Okay.
Shoot. So going back to your record idea, your record thing, they actually do that with Spotify now. It's like usually you have like random playlists. Say you want to listen to the Beatles, they play the Beatles for like 2 to 3 songs, and then they play something like the Beatles to get you interested in something else. It's a really good mechanic, and I think that we need to be doing that with comics. Only we don't really have stuff like that, do we? So I guess
it'd be sweet if we could do like a value pack, man. Like if you had like 5 random, just like at the comic shops, like 5 random comics, just boom, boom, boom. Like some.
The problem is everybody has their own IP. Everybody's IP would have to sign into each one of those. A conglomerate, because like the reason why the companies can do this is because it's DC or Marvel, right?
Right.
Marvel that's under one umbrella. You're like there's 5 people in here. This is 5 different or 5 separate companies.
Well, see, they did that with the Liberty distributor deal, and after that was over with, they bundled those
Wasn't that
together
fake?
and tried. Yeah, the Liberty distributor deal was fake.
Okay,
but they still had
didn't do it.
they still printed all these comics, and so they sold them as a bundle, and I so it was like this great bundle deal. I can't remember how much it was. It was like $50 or something, but it was like for 8 comics, and it was like various comics across Arrow. It had God's Head was God's Hand is in there from Crawdaddy. That's a good one. Only Death Can Save Us
or whatever.
Yeah, Dante Figaro. Yeah. And it had like Only Death Can Save Us, which was a really, really impressive one. But it had like I think that's Rod Looper maybe. Only Death Can Save Us. But
the thing about this though is that if you do this and you sell these at a lower price, a bundle, then people who are gonna back the campaign when it comes out, they might actually go, "I'm gonna wait." To get it in the bundle.
Well, what they did though is they had like just the number ones in a bundle.
Well, it's just like anything else. I mean, if you give people an opportunity, like there was someone, I think it was Wyatt, right? Weren't you talking about like that you in your beginning marketing class or something? Like the more chances you get you give a customer to go away, the more likely they will go away. So
Right.
if you
Absolutely.
keep making them click another button, they're going to leave. And if you keep making them buy another book, they're going to stop buying.
Well, it's either they're going to click on they're going to click and then just give up, or they're going to click and they're going to find something else. And that's kind of like, I mean, I like the CG1, CG now idea, but the thing is like for you, like if we're being selfish here, it's like you want them to find you specifically. You don't want them walking through the store, seeing 35 other books, and then like, oh, I got all these in my freaking grocery bin here, and oh wait, what was I looking for? Oh well, I'll just check out now.
I mean, you guys remember like Toys R Us? Remember Toys R Us? Like when they were, I mean, obviously years and years. I'm showing my age, but oh well. Yeah. But like Toys R Us used to be when you walked
hold on 1 second, Aaron. Toys R Us was a toy store. Okay.
I loved Toys R Us. What are you talking about?
All right.
But you remember like when you walked in, the first 2 aisles were the most popular toys in the store.
Yes.
Right.
Because like as soon as you walked in, you had to walk through them to get to the rest of the aisles. That's how they built it. And those were like when I was, those were like Transformers, those were Star Wars, those were, you know what I mean? I don't know what they are now, but they were those. And and they didn't, and just like he's saying, like they didn't want you walking through everything else. Like, look, here it is, right here.
Exactly.
Because if you see it right when you walk in the store,
flexing. We still have Toys R Us in Canada. Yeah, whatever.
I mean, we have them in the U.S. too.
You also have communism, so there. You know?
Yeah, you have that like, God, what does that guy say? Their minister or whatever?
Justin Trudeau.
Mr. Trudeau, because he sure as hell don't tell the truth.
What, the minister of truth?
But the Cofair, come on. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
anyway.
But that's a lot like how it is in Barnes & Nobles, because once you walk in there, all the books on to the right, but in the very front, you have the most popular books that have come out throughout history. And they even have like graphic novels on the side, and it's their own thing. They prop it all up. And manga is like...
Yeah, every store does that. You walk in, as soon as you walk in, they're like like you're saying, Barnes & Noble, they have those like... I don't know, little kiosk-looking things. They're like little small round tables in the middle of the floor, and those are usually like the best sellers. Or like if they have an author and they want to sell all their books, they'll have them on there.
Right. Well, there was supposed to be a virtual storefront that somebody was like creating, and I was kind of excited by that idea, and it just disappeared. So
honestly, that's no better than a list, but it is prettier. The problem was he didn't get any money for it, just like anything else. People that like ask for infrastructure. Yeah. Comicsgate has the foresight of a turnip.
Yeah.
So
just ask Indiegogo, right? Not Indiegogo, but Indicron.
Yeah.
The U.S. Canada is just varying states of fascism right now. We're just better at it for now.
It's true.
True.
I tell people I'm like, you guys don't get it. Canada's like a dry run for America.
It is. Everything happens there. It's going to happen here.
If it works up there, that's going to come here.
It's going to happen here. Yeah.
Like hopefully this election shuts it down, but I don't want to get too much into that.
Yeah. It is. Okay. So. If we like boil it down to the main problems here, is the main problem is there's a super highway that where comics are getting funded for like 100,000.
Are we being honest?
80,000 a pop. Go ahead. Might as well.
Okay, the truth is you've got like 3 or 4 monoliths that sit in the pathway, and they end up being like agents. I don't know if you guys are familiar with self-publishing, like for books and stuff. I did that for a while. No. Wyatt, I think he said he looked into it. I'm not sure. But when you do self-publishing, the thing that you have to do is query. Okay. When you query, you're sending it to an agent. An agent is basically, they stand in the doorway between you and editors and actual publishing companies. And they decide, like subjectively, not objectively, subjectively, whether your book is good enough to be put on auction or not.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And we have about 4 or 5 people that do that. Yeah. That's exactly what they do.
Well, how
so
what
that ends up turning this into what you got is these guys, like, imagine the flow of money is like a flow, like water. Okay.
Yeah.
So the floodgates open and you have these 4 walls that stand in front of it, and they get wet. and then pass them as a trickle.
Yeah.
That's all that the backup guys get.
Right. Well, one thing that buy one back one was designed to do was to go straight to the consumer and just say,
well, I think
assuming.
It's like Wyatt is saying, like, I'm not saying it's these guys' fault. I don't give a shit. I don't care about fault. What I'm saying is that's who people see when they come in, and a lot of times, like for good or bad, because CG is not always good.
No,
you can say what you want. There's a lot of bad rep about CG.
Oh yeah, there it is.
And you know, the people who have books that are smaller, they have to deal with that.
Exactly.
You know, we're the ones that, because they don't care. They use that. They monetize it. They have the people in the crowd to monetize that. We can't monetize it. It just hurts us.
Yeah.
But that's where buy one back one comes. That's where it changes the narrative. It's not. It's not like we're. You know what it is. What is it right now? It's drama. It's a drama cycle.
Yeah.
Bad thing is shown. React to bad thing. You're a bigot.
Yeah.
You're a bigot. And then react again. And then the other guys are like, they're abusing you. They're shitting on you. Monetize. And then repeat. And it's like, no, with this whole thing, it changes the conversation of like, hey, here's this thing I like.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys normally say you don't like anything. Well, I like this thing. Then everybody else is like, look at thing.
Right.
And everybody knows I don't like anything.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're saying anything really crazy, and it's not taking anything away from anybody.
Right.
And if we're going to talk about parallel economy, let's talk about parallel economy. Yeah. It's like, I look at it this way. Comicsgate, the CG Kings, I have nothing against them, but I'm pretty sure they're getting bored and they'd like some decent competition. So if we can elevate all these voices, like 3 guys here, Buddy Lord, Shadowpunk, Aaron Jordan, please get their books now. But what I'm saying is like, if we can build that up, then it becomes this self-contained ecosystem where you have competition, positive, good competition. It's like, oh yeah, you're the writers. Oh yeah, you're the artist. Who's gonna make a better book?
I think where the problem is come in, where the issue has been in the past, is that people have gone the communist route and equity route and said they don't deserve their success, or there's some way, shape, or form they haven't earned their success. I'm not saying that with this. I'm saying, absolutely. I'm saying they're there for a reason. They've had their success for a reason. These guys have been the pillars of the comic community, and some of them are some of the greatest artists in the world, and some of them are just really cool guys that have never had their shot, and they're getting their shot now. And I'm saying, I'm not taking that away from them. I'm saying, sure, buy those books because they're great price points. They're really awesome quality, and they got really great merch packages. So buy those books. But while we are assuming you are buying those books, maybe consider a smaller campaign.
Exactly.
It would be cool though if you found a way, because your hashtag is really smart. The way that it mobilizes somebody, tells them, kind of says, it's like a marketing thing. Says, hey, here's what you do, right? And if you had somebody, let's just hypothetically say, okay,
it's actionable.
It's actionable. Let's say EVS. Okay, he said, let's say you got him to back it, right? Not to back it, but to push that hashtag.
Right.
So let's just say there's a 2-year window on this hashtag until people get tired of it. I don't know if that's how it works, but but that would be the way to do it, to get it out there, make it a thing.
Well, I mean, there was a similar thing.
Move the needle.
3 or 4, move the needle, like 3 or 4 years ago that Zach had. It just didn't. It basically got attacked by the SJWs because. Yeah. And then it turned into a whole thing like Peter Smetty almost killed himself. Because
really?
Yeah.
But
they swatted him.
That pissed me off.
Yeah.
But I think there's an easy way to get these guys on, to change that kind of temperature as well. Hey, buy one, back one. Yeah. hey, this guy's got a book too. Back him. It's like instantly you co-opted that guy. Now it's like, is he gonna say no? I don't want money. I mean, no, I don't want my book sold. I mean, so it's like it's an easy thing you can turn around on people, not to be like per se like of malice or anything. It's just hey, he's got a good book too. Okay, you don't agree with me, but I guess we both agree on making money, and so now it becomes a perpetuating thing. And what's cool about it, and I didn't get to say much to you guys about it in the chat before, but what it does is whoever that originated with, see, Comicsgate needs another your boy Zach. What he was good at was being that trendsetter, being that guy. Let's try this. Everybody would buy in.
Right.
And it's like,
I think that people. That's a whole other conversation.
That's a can of worms.
I mean, like disconnect the man from the tactic. It's like I like the tactic.
Right.
There was no tactic. There was a bunch of simps following everything he did. That's the problem.
Right.
Well,
let me get caught up right quick. All right. Hello, Wolfier. Hell Belmont. What's up, dude? I think that's Outlaw Nights, right? Looks like him. Yeah. Anyway, I'd like to put the idea in the mind to shop small as much as they shop big. Yeah. There you go. That's what we're trying to do. What up, fellas? Brian Kriskow. Hey, great 6-gun gorilla, man. Love that book.
I mean, I don't know. Like for me,
what's up, guys?
Sorry, he's still going through this.
No problem. Run. I'm done.
I'm just saying, like, my issue is I have no care for drama. I have no care for the outrage. I have no care for owning the libs. I have no care for any of that.
Nah.
If you put a book in front of me, I want it to do two things. I want it to entertain me or give me or give me an experience. If it if it doesn't do either both or at least one of those things, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but
I don't care who it's by. I don't care about your art. I don't care about your mom. I don't care about your whatever condition you're going through. I don't care. I'm sorry.
Wow, but you know the thing,
do not care.
The talking raptor has a point, though.
Yeah, he does. He does.
A lot of people.
Go ahead, Shadowpunt.
Some people like just a comic, like Buddy, right? Some people like all the knickknacks. Some people like being attached to the drama of the creator, right? And
then you're not buying a comic.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you're buying into the person.
Let's be honest. If that's what you're doing, you are not buying a comic. You're buying.
Yeah, but let's take it from a marketing standpoint of like, I don't care why you're buying a comic.
Sure,
I will take your money. I will take your money.
I think that's the wrong thing to do. That's what
Marvel
and a lot of other companies have done. And guess what? What that gets them? That gets them a lot of motivation. They get a lot of likes. They get a lot of hearts. They get a lot of what they don't do. They don't.
But it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable.
Exactly.
But we let them take, like, if they want to take the drama and run with it, it's like, okay, good. That's a channel for that to go away from all of us.
Yeah,
and then like we just focus on what we're doing. You know what I mean?
All three of those options are equal to me, and you don't. I mean, so if I like the drama of EVS or whatever, right? I mean, that gives me something in my life that I don't have. So that's something I'm buying too, right? And if I want to buy a really interesting comic and I get that, and so that also does something. Those are all commodities.
Well, I honestly think that one of the issues is that people feel like by backing these larger guys that somehow, shape, or form, they're striking some blow against some nebulous force, and this is in some way, shape, or form been encouraged by these guys that are getting these 6-figure campaigns. And the truth of the matter is that they are not the force we're fighting. I mean, the force that they're not representing the opposing force here. You know, they try to say, okay, well, fight evil by backing me. And I've heard them actually say this. Okay, fight evil by backing me. But the truth of the matter is that's not the evil. I mean, you're not fighting evil. These SJWs and their thing, they're doing their own thing. Okay. Exactly. There's really no crossover anymore.
No,
it's two parallel ecosystems.
That's not exactly true, because if let's just say the fact that EVS makes $1 million on a book, and he's not working at DC anymore, right? And DC sucks ass right now, right? And the people that buy his books used to buy DC books,
right?
So now just the existence of EVS says that he's winning against them.
I mean, yeah, he's winning against them, but
he's winning, but we're not winning.
Yeah,
so he's trying to say, if I'm winning, you're winning, but that's not the
the fact. You're right.
Yeah,
That doesn't translate to us, but it does translate.
So
to
if you go get a hooker because you want sex, does that give everybody sex?
Yeah.
Because that's literally what you're saying.
Yo, you gotta chill, buddy.
No,
we're all in the room cheering him on. Go, buddy, go, buddy, go. You can do it.
I wasn't talking about us. I was talking about the backers that buy his books.
I understand that.
So that's why they call us backers.
Give me.
Well, I'm a creator and a backer, so I have both points of view, I guess. As a backer, I know what I want, and as a creator, I know what I want to do.
I mean, everybody knows. You come some people have come to me with their story and run away. And even left the group.
Oh yeah, because you know the truth.
Right.
I am not the person you come to when you want something soft, and it's to deal with like writing or.
There's a reason why he has claws and teeth. Okay, that's the reason why he uses that.
Damn, why'd you kick Buddy, man?
Accountability.
I didn't kick Buddy. Buddy kicked himself.
I thought Buddy was the Dickinson of CG.
I'm sorry, I forgot he has he has the ability to do that. Anyway.
Piper, you
he just wants to be closer to Piper. I see what's going on here.
I'm not doing anything. My hands are literally crossed.
What's going on?
So, you know what? You know what I forgot? Like when I went over to Maryland, I freaking had pulled out these ears just for him and completely forgot since he hated them so much.
Oh, what? you forgot to do the wolf ears on Malin's show? Come on, man.
I was gonna put him on just because
that would have changed everything. Everything. John would have been like, "Oh my God, she's Wolfpack. I love this girl,
Wolf Mama."
Oh my God. No. He went on Ethan's show complaining that I wear those.
Oh really? Wow.
Why?
Yeah, so I was gonna wear them just to be like, "Here's these wolf ears you don't like."
I mean, I don't care about John. John's got
yeah, he can do what he wants.
But what John's the thing is.
Thank you, John, for promoting some people today. That's nice of you.
There you go.
No, he did good, man. It's like he didn't have to do that, as Ethan said.
I will say this: he's like possibly if not one of the only former mainstreamer big boys that will actually do a show like that every once in a while,
right?
And will actually give advice.
I mean, I'll say that, like those guys, we were saying earlier.
Yeah,
they've quote unquote earned their spot in years. They've earned their stripes. People always come to me and they're like, EVS came out of nowhere. I'm like, 30 years nowhere, sure.
Green Lantern. Okay.
No, he was on some really big books. He was a name. He was definitely.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like he's been YouTube plus comics like 30 years.
Oh, it's hard to deny that he's not a talent. It's like all there. It's like if you just Google search and then just click on the image tab. It's like,
as a matter of fact, there are videos of him like with his keyboard in a room at Comic-Con put on an impromptu concert in San Diego. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not talking somebody.
The man's an entertainer.
Yeah, we're not talking about somebody that didn't have like some cachet, I mean.
But I think the thing that a lot of people are responding negatively to.
Speaking of cachet, Pixel Trader.
But you see a lot of people getting all frustrated. They're like, I mean, even EVS has a little video about
because EVS knows exactly what he's doing. And
sell my book. It's like, wait a minute, dude. It's like, like they're treating this like Amway, bro. It's like they literally treat this CG like it is a pyramid scheme. It's like, well, I got these people in, so now you should back my book because I got you these sales.
Funny thing about it. Okay, let me blow the lid off of Amway. This is the funny thing. I came from this is from sources inside Amway. Okay, the thing that they made money off of was not the products. These guys became multimillionaires from selling the concerts where they told people how to get rich.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And the tapes that they sold and everything like that. They never actually got rich off the products. the
well,
main
it's like
company.
a gas station. They don't get rich off gas. They get rich off Coke and you buying $3.
It's so you can make a point to say that CG, these guys aren't really making their money off the comics. They're really making it off of these YouTube channels.
That's what I'm saying.
These gigantic
their
YouTube
comics
channels.
are definitely making plenty of money.
Yeah,
I think they would without.
Okay, I have a better example. So in the Black comics community, you have a lot of people like I don't give a fuck if they see this or whatnot. You have Goddard Comics and you have Black Sands Comics. They do have pretty interesting books, but a lot of the other stuff they have people pay them to give them advice and have these online classes and shit. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool and all, but you're not mainly selling comics.
Right. Yes. Well, as soon as you become a filter for what's being out there, like I said, you're becoming like an agent. You're becoming that. I'm going to stand in the doorway between you and the audience. Whatever. Yeah. And it's like my thing is I don't mind if somebody is a tastemaker or a filter, but can they be worth it for once?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, but who says you can't be? Who says you can't bypass that filter? Like, I mean, that's what's great about. Like, we're literally doing it right now. It's like,
that is supposed to be what CG was.
That's why Bancroft was jumping on it. He's like, yeah, this is legit. This is sweet. Like, freaking hell yeah. And so, there we go. Like,
I mean, what are the books that everybody thinks people should buy? Obviously, Rift Riders.
Yeah, obviously.
Christian the Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Shadowpunk, is it still in demand?
I'm in demand. Yeah.
Yeah, Shadowpunk definitely should have been bigger than it was. I mean, definitely.
If you're not on the signing list for Pendragon, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you.
Pendragon's not it's as far from having a signing list yet.
Yeah. Well,
Wolfsbane, though,
you can have a fantastic book and the personality of a turnip, and you can't sell it to an audience. You're not going to find success unless you get lucky to be pushed by others, right?
Exactly.
Let me give you an example. Let me throw one out there. Nathan Rosario. The Stump series is one of the best in CG. Both books were incredibly well written. The art was awesome. Has an incredible protagonist, one of the best protagonists in CG. He should be iconic. Okay.
What's it called?
Stump. Yeah. He's put out 2 books, and neither one of them was more of a alien sci-fi story, and the second one just went completely off the rails and did something entirely different. I never saw coming. And
so Stump, is that like Adventures of Log type thing, or
no? He's this big burly guy who basically was a
big built white dude.
Yeah, and he was basically a worker on a planet with a really high.
I see it right here.
Yeah, there you go. It's
like
a really high jet gravity, and so it made him denser and stronger, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's a very practical guy. He's a very laconic kind of guy. He does nothing really bothers this man, right? And so if he sees a gigantic snake coming out of the ground, he's just like, okay, all right, I guess I'm gonna punch this thing.
Sounds like
really cool looking.
Exactly. That's pretty much his solution to everything. Hello, all you magnificent bastards. What? Okay, right. Thank you. Tank. But this Nathan Rosario works like all the time. I mean, he works all the time. He has. I don't know that he's ever been on a channel, to be honest. But this book really should be one of the top ones in CG. Okay.
I think one of the things that CG needs to learn is that you need to find, just like in self-publishing, one of the biggest things that they talk about is one of the lessons that you go through is you have to learn the entire process of publishing better than the publishers know it.
Right.
They tell you that you have to do that. And then the second thing that you've got to do is know your genre, and a lot of times invent a genre.
Right.
Like they tell you, invent your own kind of genre, say that you're that genre, and then you're the number one in that genre.
Right.
Right. That's John De La Rose. He does that all the time.
Yeah.
Buddy makes it sound so easy, man.
I'm the one.
You
I'm
just
the
gotta do
one
this.
Hispanic from northeastern Illinois state.
Right.
Whatever.
Well, it's not easy, but
so hold on. If you look at this guy's book, Stump, He had 244 backers, and he sold each copy for $5.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things that
he had it. Didn't he have it done before? Like it was a redo. His last one was like a redo deal.
Yeah, his first he did remaster his first one. Chat was Tank in. I don't know. Really he's either in Belmont or Luke. I don't know which. All of them.
He says yes.
All of them. Yes. Okay.
But anyways, what I'm saying is like you need to know what your genre is in order to find your audience.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you are, quite frankly, there are people that enjoy fantasy. They'll watch Lord of the Rings or whatever if it's on and it happens to be there, but they're not going to go look for it.
Right.
And if they're not going to go look for it, they're probably not going to act on it. You know?
Right.
And so like within Comicsgate, it's like like fantasy, sci-fi, the kind of speculative fiction fields don't really do well.
No.
True.
Most of what you're looking at within Comicsgate crowds are cheesecake and kind of like niche superhero.
Right.
Sure. Okay. Now you'll do okay with a different book in Comicsgate. You can even do 10, 20, 30, 40. Some of them do more if they're a popular person and they're really good and or they come out really good or whatever. But I think what we've got to find ways to everybody needs to find ways to get outside of that.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, so out of curiosity then, buddy, what did you do to get your book out there then?
Well, my book has been in development hell.
Yeah.
And is 2 pages from being done now.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
So finally, we're about finished, and then we're going to pre-press and lettering and all that, and then we're hoping to be done within the next month. You know what I mean? Right. But my understanding is that like when I talk, I have kind of a deal with Neff, and Neff is helping me with the distribution because that's the deal we signed on for. He said, I'll just give you the money and you can just pay me back, or I'll give you the money, we'll sign into a contract and I'll help you distribute it and get this out there. And I said, well, why don't you do that? Because I don't know what I'm doing as far as that's concerned. And he's, has contacts and media and all that kind of stuff. And he says that, he thinks he can sell 10, 20,000 books. And I'm like, all right, works for me. So let's do that. You know what I mean? And what I know is that I wrote the book to appeal to a lot of people, but that doesn't mean it's going to. I'm not, God.
Right. Wait, did he spend $10,000 to $20,000 or 10 to 20,000 books?
Wait, this is bullshit. I thought you were. Damn it.
I know, right? God. I was disappointed when I realized.
You've been selling me a bill of goods this whole time.
Hold on, guys. So what is your opinion of AR-13L's chances? We have no idea, man. That's the Mermaid, so we have no idea.
I think it's a meme.
That land calls. All right.
I think it's a hardcore meme, and people love memes. Right. And it's a parody of something that's a real hot button issue right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I even thought it was kind of funny on Facebook. There were like Danish, like MILFs, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
That were coming out and talking about how like they had grown up with the actual, the actual fairy tale in Denmark and everything. And they're like, well, I heard it was this, and it was supposed to be blah blah blah. So, I didn't expect it to be like this. To be like that. Like that's not how I imagined it. Right. And they're like, I'm not against it, but it's not what I wanted. And then people, kind of blasted them for it and everything. And it's like, really?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have more than one avenue. It's not like what I'm getting at. It's like, it's not just like a bunch of, as they say, you're just a bunch of misogynist, racist bastards. And blah, 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 blah.
You're such an istaphobe.
Yeah.
Istaphobe.
So, but the thing is that's going to create pressure.
Yeah.
And that pressure and conflict can go either way.
Yeah.
And that is a very actionable thing.
Well,
if you keep the price down, I think you can sell a lot.
Well, let me.
That's the difference. You have to keep the price down enough that it's an impulse purchase.
Right.
Makes sense.
Well, this is my thinking. Okay. When I came up with this concept, my thinking is basically. There's this narrative in CG, okay, and we've all heard him. We've all heard it said that the rising tide lifts all ships. We've heard this said over and over again. Okay. And we're like, where's the water? The water seems to be like, concentrated at the top. Right. So what this does, what buy one, back one does is it says, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to like give it to you that people are going to back these bigger books. I mean, we're going to go ahead and just take that as the baseline. Okay. The people are going to back these bigger books because they're incredible. They look great. They got great merch packages. The creators are pretty much known commodities. And most of them have already fulfilled campaigns. And so, you're getting that book. Now, when you're getting that book is sometimes up in the air, but you're going to eventually get something of quality. So it lowers the people's fear of buying. Okay. But by saying, okay, all right, while you've got your wallet out anyway, while you are doing this, so while you're in that buying mood maybe take a look at these other campaigns that are under 10K or under 8K, under 5K in some circumstances, and that could use that boost. Mm-hmm. And we're not even saying, okay, boost them at the highest tier that's possible. I mean, say just do a digital or whatever.
Exactly.
But that's where it's like the framing is important because they got the wallet out, they're right there. Yeah. And instead of like, well, they're almost, it's like, you don't want it to, like, because sometimes people do charity, right? Yeah. But like the probability of, if you put a value proposition in front of somebody, hey, while you got your wallet out, we got these 3 campaigns that are just about to break through, and they're going to be funded and coming to your door. And these are badass campaigns. They had a 10K limit, which means that in comic speak, these are definite, like they had the creator had confidence that this is going to be a high quality book. You're going to get high quality stuff, and here you go, check it out. You know what I mean? Instead of like, well, they're almost there. You could just give them a little bit of charity, like help little Snuffy get over the line. It's like, oh man, it's like the framing, you kind of like, everybody wants to put their money on the winning horse, right? So it's like, that's where it's got to be.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So how would you suggest we frame it?
I mean, I don't think you think of it as charity at all. You think of it as in this, like, hey, you're buying this book, so obviously you have extra money
Well, I think what Wyatt's saying is framing is everything. So it's in marketing, right? So why not say you're gonna, if you buy this other book, it's the new thing coming out, and it's awesome.
Right. Yeah, it's the hip, new, hot new thing the kids are into, man. Come on now.
I mean,
where you been?
Yeah, but in this day and age,
what was the dude with Leonardo DiCaprio? The Wolf of Wall Street.
Right. Yeah.
So basically, like him with penny stocks. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah, man. What do you mean? I already backed Buddy Lord. I already backed Sins of the Fae. Where you been, dude? Like you're not up on this yet? Whoa!
What are you talking about? We're gonna boiler room it. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying movie. That way it's like, yo, this is like something that's legit. This is this is coming in hot over the finish line. It's like people want to be on to that new thing that like I said, betting on a winner. It's like. We see it all the time with these SJWs. They go online and they're like, well, please back my book, or if not, please go to my GoFundMe because my kids are hungry. And it's like, you look at it and you're like,
meanwhile, don't back my book, Nazi. I don't want you to back my book.
Yeah, they'll take your money. You'll be like, yeah, I backed your your GoFundMe, because you're like, dude, you don't have, like, you feel like, oh my God, like you don't need to be worrying about a book right now. You need to
give to is the guitar player on 6th Street in Austin. Are you going down there? He's just got a sign that says need money for beer.
You can back that.
Hey, he's honest.
I'll make more stuff.
That basket is always full after 7 p.m.
Yeah, we know, Pixel, man. We know you're trying to help people, man. You're top notch, dude. Top notch.
But yeah, and it's just a lot of these like we were talking about before, and why I'm totally on board with this thing is because like, you know, there's so many people trying to like clamor at the CG Kings guys, and they're like, you need to do this for me, you need to do that for me. How come you don't acknowledge me? And it's like you're trying to climb this prestige, like.
Well, I'm trying to take them completely out of it.
Right, and
I'm taking them completely out of it. I'm not asking. I'm not asking dick from them. Okay.
Well, no. I'm not saying you. I'm saying other people. Other people. They do this, and it's like Ethan, rightfully so, looks at it and says, "Well, you've done this up to this point, but why should I back you? And like, why should I bring you onto my show?" He has that right to do that, and it's like if you're not doing the work on your own. Like we see Monsters doing it, we see all these other guys doing it. It's like if you're building your own parallel sphere, your own parallel space, like then it looks interesting. Ethan will probably be like, you know what, I might want to be a part of that. That looks kind of interesting. Versus like, you know, like being all salty, freaking just.
There's a misnomer. There's an assumption that you're making there that I'd like to debunk if you don't mind.
Okay, go for it.
And that is that some of these people that are trying to put these campaigns out that aren't succeeding, it's because they're not putting forth the effort. But there's legitimately a lot of these people that don't have the time, they don't have the resources, and they have families that they have to deal with. Like Pixel, for instance, or Todd, or Todd Redshift. Or Hojo, they're always wrapped up in their families, and they're going to have a doozy of a time trying to push their books when it comes to it, And it's just because
it's really easy to build an empire when this is all you do.
Well, and Aaron, it's like Aaron from Fractured Echo. Okay, he's the guy's in Melbourne, Australia, and he works hard all the time. And he had this incredible book. It was drawn and colored by Rod Looper. And his book is gorgeous. It's jaw-dropping, okay? And he has these great...
And he should have had an editor.
Yeah.
He should have had an outside editor because that book was too close to Dead Space. Nobody wanted to touch it.
Yeah, but he couldn't go on like enough streams to refute the fact
it didn't. That's not the problem. Yeah. Like why I was saying framing. When your first page literally looks like the first 10 minutes of Dead Space, that's a problem.
Exactly. Customers can go and look at that and be like, okay, yeah, it's Dead Space. Why did I just play Dead Space?
Like, dude, the helmet has two different lines than the exact helmet from Dead Space. Right. The font is the same.
Doesn't that sometimes attract people though?
It depends on how much you do it. If you do like a word for word copy like that, then people are just gonna be like, okay, this seems like an imitation. And when they think of imitation, they think bootleg, parody, pull knockoff.
Right. Yeah. And the thing is too is like, no offense, but it's like the delivery of the words, the lettering, the intro was really boring.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I guess my response to that would be, I mean, I get it. Everybody has their own burden to bear. And it's like, so if people are doing this part-time, and it's like, if you're really hungry and you want to get out there and get after it, I mean, okay, if you got to autonomize your time, you got to think about different things, and maybe out of that necessity comes a whole different way to do something that like brings about a return for you. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, on one end, it's like, I get what you're saying. It's like people do have some sort of burdens and barriers in their life, but it's like me right now, dude, it's like, I'm so frustrated because I'm still writing like crazy. It's like, I'm moving to Miami. I got this awesome opportunity, but it's like, I'm sitting here watching stuff and I'm like, I can't start a podcast right now. I can't help you guys as much as I want to. And I'm like, it makes me want to pull my hair out. So I start feeding ideas. And Buddy's just there like freaking Matumbo. Boom! Yeah. Nah, son. Nah, son.
Serve!
I feel like that's my function, because that way it gives him something to do. He's like, nah, get out of here. Like, just
occasionally something you throw out sticks on the wall. So occasionally.
Yeah, right. I got out the spaghetti cannon.
There you go. There you go.
One thing that would work really well is that, let's say within a year from now, Bunny's not the only one with the show, right?
Right.
And so like that's a lift all one. That's a rise. It's like a rising tide thing, right? Lifts all boats. Like because then the Genesis crew would be bigger and better than it used to be. Our reach would be wider. Don't you think?
But
because you can't just have one person who has the only show, and so your reach is going to be limited.
Well,
right?
Belmont's working on it, and Luke Stone's got. Luke's
have you guys ever heard about PayPal Mafia?
PayPal Mafia. I've heard of it.
You never heard of them?
I've heard the phrase.
Okay, PayPal Mafia created YouTube. Created the Palantir intelligence system that we use, that the governments and countries use. They created PayPal. They created Tesla. They created, because he was part of it. The PayPal Mafia was like 4 guys. They were creating PayPal, and then Elon Musk was creating his like a competitive, the competitor to them, and they were like, okay, we're tired of competing with him. Somebody buy him out. So they bought him out, and he joined them. And then they made PayPal together. They got their money, and they went their separate ways. But PayPal Mafia, they help each other to this day. They still keep in touch with one another. They still talk to one another and help each other out. Like Elon Musk uses Palantir. Yep. Those were the 2 first founders of PayPal. That's who runs Palantir. Okay,
He's
the guy who runs
Peter Thiel. Yeah. He's got a great book. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to step on you there.
No problem. And I'm just saying, like, what CG needed to be and is not is that.
Right.
Because those guys did go and do their own thing, and they're not babying each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they do, they're in help. They do help one another. They do lift each other up, and they created them. And the way that they did that is they all 5 of them, they left, but they all followed the same creed.
Right.
We don't make businesses that don't help people.
Yeah.
We don't make businesses that don't include people. And we make businesses for people.
Well,
that's what they do.
Well, Pixel says, part of the reason I'm planning the campaign for the spring is so I can try to clear obstacles so I can make time to go sit on Malin and bring the house down. You will, man.
And I'm just saying, like, if you make rules to live by, and you carry those rules, then people will remember you, even if you once you disperse, then you get bigger in your own right.
Right.
That's kind of what I was saying. I mean, that's kind of the point. Like in a year from now, we should be in a better position to make that happen.
Actually, one of the things that I'm doing with this buy one back one is some of the things that we're discussing in our chats. I'm trying to put some legs on it and trying to make some kind of impact out there. And I'm listening to what you guys saying tonight, and I agree with you about the framing. We need to frame it better, that this is not an act of charity. This is an act of commerce. And that
No. This is a privilege.
A privilege, right. It's a privilege, right. And one of the things that I've been saying, is I've been saying that these guys, these small guys, the ones that are under 10K right now, are the future of the industry. And they're the future of American comics. And right now they're in the nascent stage. And right now, if they give up on going forward with this, then these guys right now that are dominating, these guys with these 6-figure campaigns, they are up there in years, a lot of them. And eventually, they're going to retire and get out of it, and then what's the next strata underneath, right? And the reason why comics has stalled like it has is because they abandoned the small creator. They abandoned the young
Leafield
reader.
Talked about that like a couple months ago.
Exactly.
In Facebook, he said there are no. Yeah. He said basically the last generation has no great talent in comics. Right. Yes. That's what he said.
Wow.
Well, I'm seeing some of these smaller campaigns. Hold on 1 second. We're all up in their years. Yeah, we are. Whatever. Shut up.
I'm 25.
Anyway.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah. Shut up. Anyway, but what I'm saying is a lot of the really beautiful sparks that are happening right now are happening in these smaller like campaigns like Pedro Ang, that tropical, magic comic was just brilliant, and he had the animation he did with it was genius. And the guy below me right here put a freaking movie together, a three-dimensional movie that was awesome. Took 5 years out of his time to do it, and he's doing these incredible 3D modeling. That's just genius. Aaron over here, every time he debuts something, we're all drooling. Like the Pendragon thing he's doing, and the one where he's talking about the guy is like, okay, I'm going to go back into this. I don't want to go back in this, but I should. And that one, I don't know if it was a book or if it was a part of something he was writing, but we're all just like, damn, I felt something. Buddy read it. Remember?
You mean Mirren?
Yeah, well, Buddy read it on stream, and we're all like, "Holy shit!"
Oh, you're talking about Ibis? Yeah, Ibis.
Yes, Ibis. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that script I have on the floor over here under my soda. I don't really.
We all think we're
just
genius.
Throwaway lines. Throwaway lines.
Whatever.
Yeah, Aaron is like the comic version of an astrophysics guy in The Martian,
right?
Like, dude, like played by Glover, right? Like, he gets up and he's like takes the coffee straight. It's 3 days old and crusty, and he's like, whatever. And then he's like, hold on, wait a minute, I had an idea.
Right.
Bunny makes a good point, and I think the point he's making is that it is like a row of shark's teeth, but we have to have our shit together so that in the coming years, because if we fumble it, we won't be here in a couple of years.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna get failing TV screenwriters who suck.
Yeah, that too. That too. We're all old, but
think of
Buddy's
it.
a
All those writers for She-Hulk could be here right now.
Right.
That's where they're gonna go.
Oh,
and it's like, oh god.
Why?
We gotta prevent that.
Why did you have to remind me that exists?
I don't know. I think you had to go.
So, like, real quick, like, if we're gonna do this buy one back one, so is that like BOGO, right? So this would be like Bobo.
Yeah. Well, so no, it's just basically asking the consumer.
No. I'm like talking about like if I shorten it, it's Bobo.
Bobo.
Like, wouldn't it be?
Okay. All
Dude,
right.
we need to have someone draw a big ass gorilla. It's like get the gorilla off the back, Bobo. Yeah. Buy one back. What do you think? Come on, man! Like a big ass gorilla on the back of Cybertron.
Okay.
Like,
a clown.
Yeah, Bobo the clown.
Bobo the clown.
I like that.
Defeat the clown. Bobo. Defeat the clowns. Yes. That ties right back to the She-Hulk writers thing. Defeat the clowns, Bobo. Yes. Come on, dude.
I saw a review. On the latest.
Go ahead, Aaron.
I was gonna say, I think the main thing that consumers should consider is, and this gets brought up a lot in like a lot of circles. It's like people are saying, why aren't there this, and that? The problem is that there most likely is, but you just need to look for it. So
just don't know it's there. Yeah,
exactly. If you want to see something, go on there and keep searching. Eventually, you're gonna find it.
Yeah,
right.
Well, I mean, it's like all these, like, if you're complaining about Rings of Power, and you're complaining about Wheel of Time, and you're complaining about what they've done to your epics, but you want to see an epic fantasy, well, you've got Sins of the Fae, you've got Pendragon, there's others out there.
Yeah,
you're not looking for them.
Yeah,
and so quite frankly, your favorite streamers are doing you a disservice.
Yeah,
they keep on mocking what they don't like.
Yeah.
And then they're like, where is the good entertainment? Hello?
Yeah,
they don't give you an alternative. They just leave you
like,
open.
Are you looking for it? Because I don't think so.
Well, maybe a different way from buy one back one is buy one back next.
I think bitch about it, buy a good one.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, buy one back one rolls off the tongue pretty good.
Buy one better.
I'm just saying, like, it's like what is it like? If you cut a tree, plant one.
Yeah, right.
Buy one, best one.
There you go.
I still think Bobo's great, man. It's like defeat the clowns. Yeah.
Not Bozo, Bobo. Bobo,
okay,
the
one
Wonder
last
Clown.
one for Pixel Trader before we go. If you love mermaid titties in the Second Amendment, you got AR-13L. You're welcome. Titties in the Second Amendment.
But why is her name mechanical?
He's
Is
aiming
she a
for
cyborg
certain.
mermaid?
He's aiming for certain people.
That's the name of the gun, and mermaids just don't have names.
There you go. Right.
Then what if she just runs around with a gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very good gun, probably. I don't know.
So mermaid titties and big guns coming to a theater near you shortly. Anyway, all right. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on and doing some like strategizing with me.
Strategery.
By Wolf's Bane.
By
Shadow Punk.
Yeah. By Shadow Punk.
Kid.
Just the kid.
Rift
and
Riders.
Sins of the Fae. We'll be on Kickstarter shortly. So anyway, all right. Thank you, gentlemen, for showing up. I'm going to take some of this stuff and we're going to try to adjust their trajectory. Maybe keep this thing going because it's not going to keep going unless we put the energy into it, right? Anyway, thank you for Fluffy Chat for showing up once again. And that's hell to the chat, hell to the panel. Thank you, Smiling Bandito, for coming, man. Even though you're Canadian, we're Canadian friendly around here, except for Buddy. Buddy has things against Canadians right now. But anyway,
I hate everybody equally.
Oh, that's right. He hates everybody equally. I'm sorry. I apologize. All right. Anyway,
especially Canadians.
Especially Canadians, though. All right. So, all right. That's been Cooper from Telepathic Bunny Comics with Shadow Punk, Buddy Lord, Wyatt Eastman, and on the other side, Aaron Jordan. And this has been the Writer's Room. Y'all have a good night. Bye.
Later.
Tell me what's on your mind.